ma'am.
Good morning.
All right, so here we are as we are getting ready to get into our ghosted. And, of course, the big topic that we got to hit today as well is the Alabama guard. She ended up getting caught with the guy. Well, she didn't get caught. She's done. She ended up ending things. But the dude ended up getting caught. And what did I tell you? If I was on the run, the first thing I would do is shave my head.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, isn't it?
I didn't see a picture of him
Yeah,
caught.
they showed it up on the TV.
did?
Yeah. So I think he shaved his head. She should have shaved her head, too, and they would have been able to get away. That's my thoughts. Good morning to everybody on the live.
I don't think that she would have been. I mean, like, they look
distinct.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing that I was saying is like, why aren't you like just sitting still? Don't be going to a gas station. Have plenty of groceries, prepper food, stay underground for a while. Let's get into our ghosted. What's up? Hey, Tank. What up, man? All right, let's get into this. It is time for our ghosted. So we've already talked to Rob. He met this girl on Tinder, thought it was a great date. It was one date, and then he got ghosted.
Yeah, it sounds like he couldn't really get the vibe from her that she wasn't really interested. That's what I'm getting.
Well, we definitely have the vibe now because Ava is on the phone. Rob is too. Good morning, you two. We're actually on Facebook Live on the Hot Facebook page. You can catch us on YouTube and Twitch. Dex and Barbie T, all one word for that. All right, so good morning, Ava. Welcome to the show. So it's pretty simple. Why did you end up ghosting this guy? Well, it'd be simple if she put it through.
I ghosted him because he doesn't have a phone. There's absolutely no way for me to get in touch with him until minutes prior to our appointment time because I can't get a hold of him.
He doesn't have a cellular device?
No, he doesn't
Not
have
even
a
an
phone,
Android?
so nothing at all. I didn't technically ghost him. I just can't get in touch with him because it takes like 5 to 6 hours to get a response from him. He's got Tinder on his computer. Like, how creepy is that?
It's weird. I wouldn't say creepy, but it's weird.
Rob, you don't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't have a phone because I don't want to be tracked. That's how the government tracks everyone, and I prefer, in-person communication with someone. That's another thing. I want to talk to you in the real world. I don't want to, go back and forth on these digital devices. The best way to have a connection is in person.
You're on a phone right now. So
Yeah, right. So are you on a house phone or like your work phone?
How is this working? What's going on?
I went to my mom's house for this because I feel like this relationship is worth getting on the phone for, which I don't usually do.
Come on, it's 2022. You sending smoke signals, snail mail?
And she said that it takes how long? 5 to 6 hours to get a response from you?
Yeah, I can't respond any faster to that if I'm not at home. I can't take my computer everywhere with me.
See, that's annoying.
Honestly, if we're in constant, I see people that are in constant communication on their devices. It makes the time that we do talk in person more meaningful.
It's the 21st century. This is not like the 1960s. How do you live? How do you form a relationship with somebody? How do you have a boyfriend that you can't ever get in touch with? Or you have to wait for them to go home to their mommy's house like they're 16 years old in like 2003. I don't even know how to comprehend the situation. And the fact that I'm getting called out for ghosting him, how do you ghost someone that doesn't even exist?
I mean, honestly, what kind of internet do you use? Bell South dial-up?
Okay, come on.
I don't know what my mom uses.
At this point, you go to your mom's house if you need to use the cell phone, and you really like this girl. You're totally against cell phones or phones in general.
I mean, mostly the cell phone. I can see how, ideally a landline phone, because you need to have, doctor's appointments or something like that, but...
What if you need directions or you get lost or I get lost and I need to call you to help me to get out of it?
I can use a computer. I can get, directions, and I can print them out.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. Are you map questing?
He map quest.
Stop. You guys are so mean to this guy. Look, bottom line, though, it's not just about the cell phone. You want to have a personal connection with this girl. You want to meet her in the real world, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Then buy a phone because you have to do that. It's 2022 now.
I don't agree with you.
We could at least text.
I can text on a computer.
But don't you feel like they can track you there, though?
It's the age where we all need a computer.
And our computers are our phones.
Okay, but I love how he's like, well, the cell phones, that's where I draw the line, the thing that we use every day. But computers,
they can track you too, bro.
Right, exactly. Man.
Is he Amish?
We're on live. And I will say a lot of the comments pointed out how at the beginning she was talking about their appointment time. And they all were saying
Escort service.
It sounds a little escort-y. Is that something that they talk I
don't know.
I've never used an escort, so I don't
either.
know. Okay, 866-639-4689. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this? Have you ever encountered someone that doesn't believe in getting cell phones? Maybe they don't believe in computers. I mean, they're not going to call because they don't have a phone. They have to rush to their mom's house to do it. But maybe you encountered something like this. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this? Again, check in with 866-639-4689. Yo.
The only reason why my husband has a phone is because his work made him get one, and he hates them. My papa doesn't like phones either, but my papa's 80 years old. Like, of course not. He hates phones. He just got out of a flip phone, you know?
Computers are easier to track. Flip phones can be tracked. Yeah, I feel like everything can be tracked. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, because they didn't want to be tracked. Hey, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Diane from Knoxville.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't believe that it's because he's afraid that his phone's being tracked. I think he's up to something weird, like he's doing something
like illegal
or something. That's so weird. Yeah, who is it says that they don't want their phone tracked? If he really wants to be with her, just get a phone. Who doesn't have a phone these days?
No,
right.
that's true.
I agree with you.
That's true.
Thumbs off.
Thank you very much. You know, he might be, a drug dealer. Maybe he has multiple phones. He just doesn't want her having his line yet. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning. It's Patrick from Knoxville.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Now, see, if the government wants you, they're going to get you. So, and, we're in the age of where our smartphones are pretty much, it's the strongest thing technology-wise, in our hands that we can do just about anything with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So where he's only basing having a computer at home, that's just ridiculous.
Yep, I agree.
Fully on having a cell phone.
Well, and Patrick, I'll say this, to your point of, if the government wants you, they'll get you. Look at the prison guard in that escaped con.
Yeah.
I mean, they got him.
They got him.
Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, guys. It's MK.
Hey, MK. Go ahead.
So my grandpa actually does not believe in cell phones either. Now granted, he's my grandfather, so
Same.
he is, he's on up in age. They've got a house phone, him and my grandma has a cell phone, but he can barely even work the house phone, like just because he's so ignorant to the fact of a phone because he's never had to really use one.
You know what? And I can relate to that so much because the first thing I did when my dad moved in with me is I got him a cell phone because I wanted to make sure he was good, right? He can't check his own text messages. And you remember that time that he got in a wreck?
Yeah.
He called me from the police officer's phone because he uses his cell phone like a landline. He just leaves it at the house.
That's how my papa does.
Right.
He does the same thing.
I'm like, you got to take the cell phone with you, father.
Yeah, he does the same.
I feel like I agree with the girl. Like, what if there was an emergency? What is he gonna do? Get online and email 911? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
This day and time, you could not go without a cell phone. There's too many bad people and too much bad stuff happening in the world.
Thank you. How old should a kid have to be to get a cell phone? That's a good question.
Soon as they can go off by themselves somewhere.
So how old is that?
I mean, if they can operate it, Kingston, he can operate. He's 2, and he can operate a phone. He knows how he's.
You're not giving him a phone now, though.
I mean, I've thought about it.
Shut up. At
Yes.
2?
Yes. He has his iPad. That's his phone.
How old do you have to be? Barbie's saying 2.
I need to be in communication with my nephew.
That's hilarious. You call him on his cell phone. He's like, yo, what up on his
but
iPhone?
My other nephew, Nazir is like, what, 6? He has a phone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Middle school, I say.
I had a phone in 6th grade. But I was cheerleading. I had practice. I had school activities. So I had to call and be like, hey, you got to come pick me up because my parents were always late.
Boy, this is going to age me. I never had a cell phone in school. I was 21. 21. Yep, when I got my first cell phone. Yep, exactly. That's why it's still.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
And y'all, I think I was 21. No, I wasn't 21. I was maybe like 23, 24. I was out of college when I started paying for my cell phone.
Oh, wow.
I never paid for a cell phone bill until I was like first job out of college. Well, a few months.
I had a pager in 8th grade. Stop, Amanda.
I always wanted a pager because my uncle had one, but my grandma said it was for drug dealers.
Oh, Crystal, I saw some of your pictures out there. That's amazing. Route 66, that's so cool. Did you get a picture next to the sign? I feel like that's an iconic picture you have to take when you're out there.
You had a beeper when you were 12?
Do what? Well, yeah, because all the towns can't grow anymore because no one goes down Route 66.
Barbara said, but you have to ask yourself, is that good or bad? Because our cell phones really good. They consume too much of our time. We made it without them, remember?
New research study says that if you can kick social media for 1 week, you actually, your brain and your happiness level goes up by a certain percentage.
I agree, because whenever I'm on a cruise, you cut your phone off. I feel so great.
Yeah.
And refreshing. I remember when the last cruise I was on, as soon as we got to like Puerto Rico, I was like, all right, let me get on my phone and check it. And immediately got depressed because it was like killing after killing after killing. Like, and it was just like, God, I'm going back to vacation.
This is one thing with Barbie that I have like really been trying to talk to her about, because have you, like, there are some people, you're an empath, I feel like. And so like, when she reads all of this prep and the news, this, every morning that we do, all the killings and murders and crazy stories, like she feels every one of those stories. And it's just every so often you'll hear her as we're working on the show. She'll just be like, oh gosh, no. Like, it's just so bad.
I've been brought to tears many times.
Yeah.
Through the newspaper. Well, not newspaper, but the news articles on social media. Like, it's just so, and I have to follow them because that's part of the job. But like, I know I could not work in the news field, like being a reporter.
Oh yeah, and having to cover those scenes. One of the guys here at the station, he works as a photographer now, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that, and he was telling me some of the stories. Like, he's got to go on scene with dead bodies.
Yeah, he saw his first dead body his first day working there.
I would have been a mess. I'd have been
codes. What's that?
I know I can't do that. Give me just like the fun stuff. I would not be able to do that.
And Barbara said that she believes in that whole study. I left my phone home one day, and it was so peaceful. But Barbara, there's two types of people, though. There's two types of people. One leaves their cell phone there, and they panic. You know that feeling where you're like, oh, I don't have my cell phone on me.
That's me.
Right? And then there's those people who can leave their cell phone, and they can just be like, right? I don't know which one I would be, because I don't ever leave my cell phone at home. In fact, there was that one time I left my cell phone at home and I drove back and I was late to the show. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because I had to get my cell phone. My pager and cell phone matched. Shut up.
I would have to. Oh, there it is. It just popped up. Alabama inmate, new mugshot.
Where he shaved his head?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
Ugly. This was one ugly ass couple. Like, ugly. Ooh.
So, what up, Nikki? Good morning. What's up, Kokeethi over there on YouTube? What about the Samsung that flipped up and sideways? Yo, they've got some crazy flip phones now. Samsung does.
I had a Nokia. That was, I think that was my first phone when I was in.
Was it the
fifth, sixth grade?
Was it the Nokia that you did the little
snake and stuff? The gray one. They had the little antenna.
Could you do the two-way thing where you would like walkie-talkie it?
No.
I wanted one of those. Oh, that's Nextel.
Yeah,
I think Nextel had
the
those.
Chirp, Nextel Chirp.
Yep. Those are awesome.
They had was that Boost Mobile?
No, they had their own thing. I feel like they were part of something else.
They were the ones that had the hip hop. All the rappers did that, the commercial or something.
Chris, you gave your kids a rotary phone for their 12th birthday?
What? What's a rotary? Is that one of those things?
Yes. Do you know how you would? Okay, how would you dial a rotary phone?
Is that the thing you spin?
Yes, but how would you, like, say for instance, 865 or 864 was your number?
You would have to go 8, 6.
No, it wouldn't just be that. You would do 8, and then it would go to the end, and then you would let it go, and then it would have to go all the way back.
Yeah, and then I used to like playing with, like, we had them in our church. And I would just like play with it.
Show your kids a rotary phone and do that's your YouTube video.
I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, your TikTok video.
Rotary phone. Motorola chocolate.
What's that?
Singular Wireless. Yes. Y'all remember Suncom? That was $50.
I don't remember that.
$50 a month, unlimited everything.
I remember going over my my text message limit.
Ooh.
You remember that? Get your ass whooped.
Yep. Oh, I ran up some bills. You hear me?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. My pop when my auntie had passed and I had got her phone. They gave me her phone to use. And I ran that check up. And then my mom gave me a phone. That was my first Verizon phone, the flip phone. And I was buying ringtones, playing games. I was doing all the things.
What's the juke?
$1,000 bill.
Remember the juke? I don't remember that. Hey, good morning. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Renee from Knoxville.
Renee, I saw that. You said
Y'all
that
both
I
don't
got
have
it
a
wrong. So there
rotary
was no
phone.
area codes back in those days?
There was an area code for each state. You only had to use it when you called out of state, a.k.a. long-distance phone calls.
You know what?
You didn't have to use an area code.
I remember that as a kid because I think we were in Charlotte, and then that's when they started doing the city thing.
Right, because I remember
it eventually broke
423.
down because they got too many people in each
'Cause I
area.
didn't understand that.
I grew up in the
But
423.
used to it was one
and
code
then
for each
at
state.
one point, 423 was all of East Tennessee.
423.
And then Knoxville all of a sudden got their own area code, and they had an 865. And I was like,
865 because it spells ball.
Yep.
BOL.
There's no area
Oh, is
codes
that
in
what
some
it is?
places still.
Shut up.
What?
Yeah, did you just realize that?
I just
865 is
realized
ball
that.
for volunteers.
I was today years old that 865 spells out ball.
Really?
Yeah.
You ain't from here.
Shut up. I grew up there. I'm saying.
Oh, that's cute.
Did you
What
really?
does 864 spell?
Right.
There
864
is,
probably
though.
doesn't spell anything. That sucks. All right. Thank
But
you.
yeah, the only. You're
we
welcome.
gotta hop
Have a
off.
good
We got to
one.
go back
Bye.
on the air. We'll talk to you soon. Setting up voicemail. Oh, yes. I had to set up my dad's voicemail, and it's still a pain.
Mine's still not set up.
Yeah.
I had to.
Who checks voicemail?
Who leaves a voicemail?
Right.
I do. I do sometimes.
25 cents a message. Dang.
In
Crystal,
different
where's that at?
area codes. Luda.
What's 404 area code?
404 is. Why does that sound familiar? What is 404?
All right, so we're talking about this guy who got ghosted. Why?
Because he doesn't have a cell phone.
And she said it was so annoying trying to talk to this guy because he would have to just be on his laptop. So you would message him, and then whenever he got home, he'd get on his laptop or his computer or whatever it was that he was using, and then he would message the girl back. He had Tinder on his computer. I didn't even know.
Yeah, meaning that's new to me.
Right. I thought that was just a phone thing or whatever dating app they were using. Good morning. Go ahead. We're talking about people who don't have a phone. How do they live and all that kind of stuff. And so far, it's pretty much just old people. It's because the guy said he didn't have a phone because
He didn't want to be tracked. And it's like, what? Because you can be tracked on your computer, honey.
Right. Good morning. Go ahead.
So my grandpa actually does not believe in cell phones either. Which now granted, he's my grandfather.
Same.
He is, he's on up in age. They've got a house phone, him and my grandma has a cell phone, but he can barely even work the house phone, like just because he's so ignorant to the fact of a phone because he's never had to really use one.
You know what? And I can relate to that so much because the first thing I did when my dad moved in with me is I got him a cell phone because I wanted to make sure he was good, right? He can't check his own text messages. And you remember that time that he got in a wreck?
Yeah.
He called me from the police officer's phone because he uses his cell phone like a landline. He just leaves it at the house.
That's how my papa does.
Right.
He does the same thing.
I'm like, you got to take the cell phone with you, father.
Yeah, he does the
But
same.
I feel like I agree with the girl. Like, what if there was an emergency? What is he gonna do? Get online and email 911?
Right.
Email.
I'm just saying, it freaks me out.
Can you text 911 now?
Some places, I think. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? That's probably something that we
text it
should
and
all
see.
know.
Let's try it.
No, we're not going to do that.
Like, hey, does
no,
this work?
Probably shouldn't even be saying that right now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Don't
mean?
do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Jeez. Coming up, just about 2 songs away, speaking of the government finding you, the government found the 2 out of Alabama. And so we have a really important question. If you've ever been in the prison system, whether you're a guard or whether you are an inmate. It's a different question than last week. We want to know, how often do prison breaks happen? How often do these prisoners, are they able to escape? And does it ever work? Because I don't feel like they're always going to get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think so.
It's like that old school movie, I'm going to get you, sucker. 866-639-4689. You're welcome to call into the show now, and we'll get ready for this. But we are going to be talking about it just about 2 songs away. Remember that movie? What's an old school movie you remember?
I don't know that movie. I was about to ask you, what is that?
You freaking kidding me?
No.
I'm going to get you, sucker?
No. Who's in that?
I don't even remember. It was so long ago. They had the platform shoes. Mr. No Filter, do you know what I'm Going to Get You, Sucker is, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barbie doesn't know it.
Well, that's Barbie's, I guess, I don't know what you would say. She's been cheated then.
I know, right? Hold on, let me put everybody on hold. You're first up.
Police officer just texted me and said, yes.
Good morning. Hang on just a second. We got 1 call ahead of you. Good morning. We've got 2 calls ahead of you. Stand by. What?
One of my police officer friends just messaged me on Instagram and said you can text 911.
Shut up, you can? Okay, wow. Don't do it. Unless you need them.
I want to text.
No, God.
I just want to be
Good
like,
morning.
Hey, guys.
All right, Mr. No Filter, go ahead. So does this happen often? Did you ever witness? Because I know you were in Rikers Island, right?
Rikers, Comstock, Attica, Sullivan, and Woodburn.
Jeez. Okay, so did you see people escape, and did they stay on the run?
Over the course of 10 years of my incarceration, it's happened 16 times. And out of the 16 times in the state of New York, only 1 of them is still free.
Really?
What? So they still can't find him?
Like, so how did he?
No.
Give me one of the ways that they were able to escape that was kind of unique.
Well, one guy who had been incarcerated for 22 years had been digging a hole for 18.
Shut
and
up.
He actually got out. That was out of Comstock, a facility called Green in New York. And after that happened, they changed that to an adolescent prison and no longer made it a high security prison.
They caught him, though, didn't they? Or was he the one that got away?
He's the one that got away. But you got to realize something. He went in when he was 18 years old. Wow. So when he got out, he just, nobody knows where he went. He didn't have a visitor for 7 years. So there's nothing to connect him with anyone.
Wow. That is straight out of Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank you, Mr. No Filter.
Yep, same thing. Yep. And I remember that movie, but do you remember the actress named Angela? Angela Davis?
No.
Well, if you take a real good look, go back to the 70s. She was an actress with the largest African-American actress and everybody wanted to have an Angela Davis. Her hair was 32 inches and an afro.
I see
it. Okay.
All right, Mr. No Filter, we got to get to the next one. We got to go. Thank you. I love him. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
I'm from Knoxville.
Okay. Go ahead. So, first off, were you an inmate or were you a guard or anything like that?
Neither, but I have a friend. I know a guy who got the guard pregnant while he was incarcerated.
Okay, so give us some details. So I guess he started talking to the guard. They were hooking up, had a relationship. What ended up happening to the guard?
Nothing. She had her baby, and he ended up getting out of jail before she had the baby, but they never found out that she was pregnant by an inmate.
Ooh, did they get back together?
They never, No. This is like one of 6 of his kids.
Oh, wow.
And, he helped take care of the kid, but he never had relationship with her or anything.
Yeah, that was just in prison.
Oh, okay.
Wow, thank you for your
just
call.
some prison love.
That's right. Prison love happens. Thank you.
Prison sneaky link.
Oh, all right. Let me get this call. I got 1 minute. 1 minute. I might take another song. God, what are your thoughts about that Shawshank story?
Shawshank Redemption. I don't know where I got it from. Only Orange I Bleed is Cincinnati. Hold up. Somebody said something I meant to see earlier. I can't find it. Good morning, Barbie. 2 trailer park girls go round the outside. Round the outside. Love you, girl. What's that?
That's Eminem lyric.
Oh.
Trailer park girls go round me outside.
Yeah. Oh, I did post Slim Shady on my story on Instagram. Yeah. He can't afford a cell phone. That's what it sounds like. 843.
16 seconds. Shoot.
She didn't go back from the halfway house. In the 70s, to dial someone in the same city, you only had to dial 5 numbers. So if the number was 863-1234, you just dialed 3-1234.
Here we go.
What?
This is fascinating to me. So if you haven't been following the whole thing in Alabama, just a quick recap. They have been captured, right, Barbie?
Yes, Vicky and Casey, they've been captured. They were on the run. Vicky helped Casey break out of prison. She was, retiring and everything, and so they were trying to run away and be in love with each other. They got caught, and then she killed herself.
Yeah, because she wasn't going to jail. He ended up, giving up.
He surrendered, yeah.
And they were in Indiana, so I guess they might have been on their way up to Canada, maybe? I don't know. But they ended up getting caught. So we wanted to know, if you have any experience, give us a call, 866-639-4689, if you've ever worked in the corrections field or if you were a prisoner or an inmate. Do these escapes actually happen? And how often do these escapes happen?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. No Filter, he has been locked up before. Former prison inmate. You have a little bit of experience when it comes to this. Where have you been? It was Rikers, right?
Rikers, Comstock, Attica, Sullivan, and Woodburn.
Okay, so did you see people escape, and did they stay on the run?
10 years of my incarceration, it's happened 16 times. And out of the 16 times in the state of New York, only one of them is still free.
So they still can't find him?
So how did he...
No.
Give me one of the ways that they were able to escape that was kind of unique.
Well, one guy who had been incarcerated for 22 years had been digging a hole for 18.
Shut
and
up.
He actually got out. That was out of Comstock, a facility called Green in New York. And after that happened, they changed that to an adolescent prison and no longer made it a high security prison.
They caught him, though, didn't they? Or was he the one that got away?
He's the one that got away. But you got to realize something. He went in when he was 18 years old. Wow. So when he got out, nobody knows where he went. He didn't have a visitor for 7 years. So there's nothing to connect him with anyone.
Can you imagine? That is straight up Shawshank Redemption.
I've never seen that movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's epic. So basically, I'm not even going to do it, because you're going to have to watch it. But... Man, can you imagine 18 years this guy spent digging a hole to get out of that prison?
My goodness. We're watching the live, and Crystal said, women, please be careful messing with inmates. My mama did. She ended up on meth for 17 years. Sheesh. She's been clean now for 5 years.
Oh, that's good. That had a happy ending. I like that. 866-639-4689. Have you ever been in the prison field, whether you were an inmate, maybe you were a guard, maybe you worked in corrections, maybe you had a relative? Do escapes actually happen like the one that happened in Alabama where they get out? And do they stay out, or do they get caught quickly? I feel like they all get caught.
Yeah, most of them do.
That's what I would think, right? 866-639-4689.
Samantha said there's some inmates that escaped in Kentucky recently. I feel like it happens a lot in small jails or prisons, but it's not national news.
Right, because it happens like on a regular, right? Phew. What's up, Justin Timberman over there on YouTube?
I thought you were about to say Timberlake. I was going to say, what? He watching?
he be checking out the live too, right? By the way, 404 Atlanta. You should have knew that.
I know. That's why I was like, but
it sounds familiar.
I haven't dialed an Atlanta number in a
Yo,
while.
I think Mr. No Filter story scared everybody else from doing it, man. He had the best one. I'm just so fascinated that these guys are able to get out of prison, and because to me, I think they always get caught.
Child, remember when? Remember we did have somebody call in, and she was saying how her dad would always escape from prison.
Oh, that's right.
He would do the like yard work and stuff, and then he escaped.
Yeah.
And he'd still get out.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Tasha from Clemson.
Okay, Tasha, go ahead. So, what's your experience, and what have you heard of this happening?
Okay, so when I was probably 2 or 3 months old, my dad was locked up in prison. He was at Perry, and him and another inmate escaped on a helicopter. The other inmate's girlfriend sat the helicopter down in Perry.
Shut up.
How did they get a helicopter?
Yeah.
That's insane.
She said she was doing lessons and stuff. I think they made a movie or a book about it actually, but I'm not sure what it's called. But yeah.
Okay, but so how long were they on the run, or did they stay out of prison? They eventually got caught, right?
Oh no, they got caught. They got caught. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was only a week or two they were out, but yeah.
That's insane.
Dang.
I can't even imagine setting the helicopter down with those prison guards. Eventually, I mean, you saw a helicopter landing, shoot the thing.
Yeah, shoot the thing.
Yeah.
Is your dad out of prison now?
He is. He got out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
I'm pretty sure he's got some wild stories.
I bet. Thank you
He does.
for
He
your
does.
call.
He definitely does.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, thanks, y'all.
That's insane. Can someone, Jared, can you look that up? I just want to see Perry helicopter escape. Y'all, that's nuts. And by the way, Kyle, I saw your comment. Very good comment. Did you see that?
Angel said that happened at Perry and Pelzer.
So you saw that happen?
Wow,
Or
this is
saw
the
that
first
that
time I've ever seen either of you. Your voices and I have been hearing you guys forever. I thought Barbie T was a much older lady. Wow. You guys look great. You guys are real people after all. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Your face when you read that comment.
Mm-hmm. That's the first.
So, send it to my Facebook.
cousin escaped from a minimum security prison in Spartanburg, traveled down I-85 all the way to Easley. He was caught days later. He was chased by law enforcement through the woods and was shot at because they reported he had a gun, but he didn't. He said he hid in the hole in the ground to hide from the dogs, then later turned himself in because he didn't want to be shot.
Good
Jeez.
gosh. A week. See, that's what I was about to say. It doesn't last that long. And Kyle had said something about how they always catch these inmates, but these missing people, like the one girl that's out in Anderson that has been missing for a long. Ariel, I think it was.
Alexis. Yeah.
Alexis, that's it.
Yeah.
Alexis, they still haven't found her, but you can find these people in a week, 11 days.
Child.
Jackie, I only got 30 seconds. Can you tell me the story?
It's Jackie. I don't have a story. I just wanted to say, how did she plan everything, have $90,000 in cash, and run away to funky little Eastern Alabama to Indiana?
Well, I know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Indiana?
And
You
honestly,
can go to Brazil and no extradition, and you go to Indiana?
but the problem is that you got to go somewhere where no one knows your name, like South Dakota, somewhere crazy where you're out in the wilderness and you can just be chill, and they don't see the news like that. I think that they're
You have 90,000 and a 2-week head start. You should have been out of the country entirely.
That's a good point.
Facts.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie.
She looked a little
That's
dumb,
such a good
though.
point. That's right.
They don't like the brightest people.
That is such a good point. Almost hit. I forgot to hit the button. Yo, these stories are nuts. So crazy. So we're talking to the Hot Fam online, and we're chatting with you on the phone. So basically, this whole thing that happened in Alabama, does this happen on a regular basis where this woman fell in love with an inmate and then she helped him escape? Now they've been caught. Jackie made a great point. She called in and she said, you had $90,000 and you make it from Alabama to Indiana.
Yeah, she didn't think this through, at all.
Right. You got to plan this stuff. Like for me, I'm going to find a safe house and then we're going to just camp and we're going to stay there. We're going to watch Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to catch up on all the things that he's missed. You know, catch up on Bridgerton's, man. You know what I mean? And then wait until the heat dies down. But nah, they're out there in the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we wanted to know, have you ever worked in the prison industry or have you been an inmate or you know someone that was an inmate? Do prison escapes happen often? And do they ever actually stay out of prison? Because I always feel like they catch them quick.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's not hard, especially if you haven't planned it out, like we said.
Right, and they never do. Good morning. Go ahead. Now, this was an interesting plan, I guess. Go ahead. Tell us about your dad.
So when I was probably 2 or 3 months old, my dad was locked up in prison. He was at Perry, and him and another inmate escaped on a helicopter. The other inmate's girlfriend, sat the helicopter down in Perry.
Shut up.
How did they get a helicopter?
Yeah.
That's insane.
She said she was, doing, lessons and stuff. I think they made a movie or a book about it, actually, but I'm not sure what it's called. But yeah.
Okay, but so how long were they on the run, or did they stay out of prison? They eventually got caught, right?
Oh no, they got caught. They got caught. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was only a week or two they were out, but yeah.
Wow. Jackie said that these prisoners might have trackers. And you know what? That makes sense.
That they have a tracker on
Like
the prison?
injected or something like that?
No, I don't think they can do
Creepy.
that.
I don't know. Hell, it's prison. 866-639-4689. Give us a call. Have you ever heard of a prison break? How long did they make it out? What was the crazy way that... So far, we've heard dug out.
Yeah.
Took them 18 years, and now a helicopter.
I think the helicopter was the best, to be honest. If I was breaking out of prison, yes, come get me in a helicopter.
Well, it's a lot faster.
Yeah.
18 years? Hell no. 866-639-4689. Beat that.
I've seen prisoners on TikTok.
Good morning. Hang on just a Oh, snap. Good morning. Hang on just a second. You're going to be our first person up.
Why do girls date bad guys in jail? They have good guys out here, ladies. Child.
Chris had to rewrite that because his other one got blocked because he was saying, why do they have sex with these people? Good morning. Hang on just a second. We got one call ahead of you. Stand by. All right, good morning. You can be anonymous or, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, it's Crystal from Tacoma. I just told you I was about to call.
Yeah, so tell us your story.
Oh, no, I want to know what my badge is. I went away on Route 66 for 2 weeks, and by the way, I have lots of pictures. I'll post them, but where'd my badge go?
Oh, you know what? There's a couple of people that have been asking about that. I don't know how that works. I don't do it.
What?
Talking about the badge. So,
my Facebook badge.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you're off there for a little bit, for some reason, they'll just take your badge off there if you're not commenting enough or something like that.
Works either, yeah.
It's annoying. We don't handle it. Well, Barbie does, but I don't
I
do it.
do not handle that.
Well, Barbie, he put it on you.
I know, right?
Lies. It's not me, girl. I do not know how to do that.
No, apparently they just do it automatically. So I don't know what the requirements are. You know what? I'll look it up, and then I'll post it. What are the requirements so you can get these badges and stuff like that?
All right. Well, I actually didn't have anything but that. But bye, y'all.
Thank you, Crystal. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from, I don't want to say because they'll find out what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no worries.
Go ahead.
Share your story.
All right, this one's a little bit different. So I have a great uncle who is in prison for life. Well, now he's in there for life. He actually helped some guys to get out of jail, but he wanted to help them so he can get in trouble because he was up for parole, and he didn't want to get out of jail because he's been in there for so long.
Oh, that's another thing out of Shawshank Redemption. You get institutionalized, and you're the fear of getting out of prison is insane because you don't know how to handle life outside of the prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was in there. He got in there when he was 18. He apparently murdered somebody, and he was in there. He was up for parole, and he didn't want to get out, so he was like, he knew these guys were going to break out. He was like, hey, I'll help you. I'll cover for you. So he assaulted a cop to make sure he could not get parole, helped them get out. They got out. Obviously, they found them later. And he stood there and was like, yeah, I helped them. All right, keep me in jail. and he's still in there to this day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And if I help you get out, damn it, you better get out and get away.
Yeah. So how long were they out for again?
I can't remember. He was, I think, maybe about a week or so, but he was like, yeah, they're gone. I helped them. Keep me in jail.
Wow.
I don't want to go.
Okay.
I think he's like 77 now.
Wow. Because again,
I think that's how old he is now.
That's how it works sometimes in prison, man. These guys will do anything to stay in prison because that's all they know.
So sad.
And so he's been in prison since
he
he was 18.
He apologized to the cop he assaulted too.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you for your call. Yo, that's a thing. Can you imagine 18 to 70 something and your entire life has been in prison?
I couldn't imagine, like, somebody I knew told me, like, they went to prison at 18. I was like, I was going off to college. Like,
yeah.
I could not even imagine. And the things you see, whoo.
Right. Right. Hobart, institutionalized men. It happens. And in that movie, Shawshank, at one point, there's this one guy, he's probably in his 60s or 70s, and he holds a knife to one of the other inmates because he doesn't want to get released. And, and he tries to stay in prison longer. Goodness.
My brother-in-law was doing 17 years and needed a surgery. He had a surgery, woke up, and climbed out of a hospital window. It was on the news. They said he wouldn't get far, but he did get caught a week later and added 5 years on.
That's another thing. They will add major time for you escaping. You get out for a week, and then they put on an extra 5 years. That's crazy. Shawshank Redemption. Look up the movie. That's your homework, fam. If you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, it's long as hell, but it's got Morgan Freeman. And what's the other guy's name? Do you know? Tim Robbins? Is it Tim Robbins? Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like them young boys put a blade to him and made him do that.
Brooks. That's right.
Yeah. I ain't teaching no one how to use a cell. It annoys me. Crystal.
All right, fam. I think that's going to wrap it up for us. We will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for your comments this morning.
I do like Green Mile. That's a good one.
Oh, it's kind of like Green Mile.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a prison movie. I actually like it better than Green Mile.
I've seen Life. You seen Life?
It's not like Life. It's not like Life. But Life's a good movie, too. It is Tim Robbins. Okay. All right, fam. We will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Be good. Take care. It is like someone said